What about... No. I've got nothing. Random questions, round 2. Hey there guys, and welcome to another edition of Almost Interesting. As you just saw, I really struggled to come up with a topic for this week's vlog. Here's the ironic thing. I have 2 topics in the vlog oven, but I just checked on them and they're not quite ready to be talked about yet. So we're going to do another round of random questions. I have searched the internet and found a series of random questions that I'm going to answer. But, like the Auntie Anne's cashier said to the Hungry Mall patron, here's the twist. I'll be answering all of these questions unscripted. I normally script my videos because I want to sound smooth. I don't want there to be a lot of stammering and and that kind of a thing. But I don't want the answers to these questions to sound so rehearsed. I want to just come up with the answers off the cuff, off the top of my head, and just say whatever comes to mind. So I have selected 10 random questions from the internet and placed them into this lovely mug, which says, forget love, I'd rather fall in chocolate. That is not one of the questions. And I will be answering 5 of them, maybe more if time permits. But before we get to that, a couple of quick points I'd like to get to. First of all, you can find the random question generator that I used at conversationstarters.com. It's a nice little way to generate random questions if you want to do a video like this, or maybe you're going on a date and you want to have some things ready to talk about. It's a nice little way to generate some random questions. Second of all, today is the first day of the NCAA basketball tournament for the men's teams. I am a huge Florida Gators fan, as you know, and Mom stepped up with a nice gift today. She got me this lovely shirt. I don't know if you can read it because I can't see what you can see from here, but it says, I may live in Georgia, but I'm always in Gator country. The Gators played a very scrappy 16 seed Albany today. Albany hung in there, really gave it their all, especially considering the Gators were granted the top overall seed. So Albany was kind of considered the weakest team in the tournament. They actually had to play a play-in game to get into the tournament, which obviously they won. And then they gave the Gators all they had. The Gators ended up winning by 12 points, but it wasn't until 4 or 5 minutes left in the game that they started to pull away. So they did a good job. Saturday, they should be playing their second game against Pittsburgh. Go Gators! Alright guys, working without a net, working without a script. We are totally off the cuff here. Let's see what the magic cup has for us. Alright. Do you prefer to shop online or in the store? It's an interesting question. I think it's one of those where it really depends. I shop both online and in the store. Obviously, there are staples and things of that nature, both actually the food staples and literal staples that are just better and easier to buy in a store, of course. I know Amazon is starting to offer the service of delivering certain kinds of groceries. But mainly I think you just go to the grocery store for that. And you know, there are things like clothes, for example, that it's really best for you to try on. And I know there are some there's this one shoe website. The name won't come to me, but when I find it, I'll write it down as a graphic right here. I know they offer you the option to order some shoes and try them on, and if they don't fit, send them back. The thing about that is that process can take like 2 or 3 weeks to find the right pair of shoes, where if I go to a good shoe store like Payless, there's a really good chance I'm going to walk out that day with the pair of shoes that I need. On the flip side of the coin, there are certain things that are just easier to find online. Being a big fan of Power Rangers like I am and buying Zords, And living in cities like this, like the closest city, Valdosta, is kind of hit or miss when it comes to stocking toys. It can be difficult, but they're almost always available online. They're very easy to find online. The Samurai Gigazord, which if I have some video, maybe I'll pull that out of the first edition and show you a frame of it down here. Is the ultimate combination of all of the Power Ranger Samurai Zords. I actually found the Bull Zord, the final piece of the puzzle for that, online a good 6 months or so after the show had finished airing. It was very fortunate. It seemed like a couple of retailers just found like a pallet, or maybe Saban sent out, or not Saban, I'm sorry, Bandai of America sent out like one last pallet of them because they all of a sudden showed back up, and I was able to nab that online, and that probably wouldn't have been stocked on shelves because they were already getting ready for the next season, Megaforce. So it really depends on what you're shopping for, but I think both are really great. All right, next question. What was the last movie you saw? I'm not 100% on this, but I'm fairly certain that the last movie I saw was Frozen. I really enjoyed it. Frozen is a great movie, and it actually came out on DVD yesterday, for you guys watching this. But today, or no, not even, yesterday for me. So the day before for you guys, because it's easy to keep track of the calendar when you vlog. Frozen sold 3.2 million copies between DVD and Blu-ray on its first day. It shattered Amazon's first day DVD sales record. It's all over the internet. The songs are obviously getting covered 1,000 different times on YouTube. It's doing very, very well, and it deserves to. It is an excellent film. Between Tangled, which I actually didn't get to see yet, so I'm going to try to see that at some point. Between Tangled and Frozen, Walt Disney Animation is really getting back to what they were doing and telling good stories. One of the things I most appreciated about Frozen was the way that it played with the stereotypical characters. When the movie starts, you have a prince, you have a princess, and they even set somebody up to be the villain. And I don't want to spoil it in case you haven't seen it, but I will just say, not everybody in the film is who they appear to be at first. And I think it was just really awesome of Disney to take, such stereotypical, concrete plot points that we all expect when watching a Disney princess film, and then just twisting them all around, and it ends up completely different than you might have expected at the time. So if you haven't seen Frozen, I would definitely recommend it. Get a question from the cup! I apologize for that. Are you clean or messy? The answer is both. I am both clean and messy in that I prefer things to be clean. I prefer to keep things as neat as I can, but I'm also a bit lazy for various reasons, some of which we've talked about. So things can get messy, but I prefer them to be clean. So every so often, it's just like a cleaning bug gets in my system, and I think a lot of people have that. Cleaning bug just gets in my system, and it's like, I gotta clean up, I have to spend the entire day just getting everything perfectly clean and straight, and then you just let it get completely messy again. So, I am a clean, lazy person. Cup on the desk. Give me a question so I can risk answering it. What is your first memory? There is a reason I picked this question. I said that I wasn't going to rehearse these answers, but when I saw this question, I was like, I know what I'm going to talk about when I talk about this. Because not many people believe me, and not many people are going to believe me, but I have a memory of my very first birthday. Number one, first birthday. It's not a very clear memory. It's actually two memories. I can remember being taken down the hallway of the house that I lived in when I was born, to the table, and then I remember there being cake, and I remember like putting my hand in cake a little bit. I don't know why I have that memory. I mean, walking down a hallway isn't a terribly exciting memory that would be imprinted into your memory engrams. Cake is cool. I've always liked cake, so I guess maybe I was like, what is this amazing confection that has been laying before me? So yeah, my first memory is of my very first birthday party. Question from the cup. What is the best thing about your gender? One of the main things I like most about being male is how much easier it is to get ready for things. And that's a societal thing, you know. And there are some, you know, there are a lot of girls that don't bother with all of the primping and makeup and everything and getting ready. But, you know, when girls don't bother doing it, it's kind of, well, she's that kind of person that doesn't care about makeup and whatever. Guys just really don't. Well, there are metrosexual guys too that focus a lot on their hair and, you know, making inches. And I'm not saying I'm not clean or anything. You get ready to go, you look nice and stuff. But so that is my answer to that question. The best thing about my gender is how much easier it is to get ready to go out and do something. Time for the questiony. Are you doing anything fun this weekend? Yes. Cut. No, I am kidding. This actually is one of those two topics that said I wasn't quite ready yet. But then you would say, why did you pick the question? You obviously wrote it down and put it in the cup, so you know that you were going to talk about it. Yes, I am doing something fun this weekend. I have a date. My second date with a girl I met online. We are going to go to a softball doubleheader at the local college, and then we're going to watch some basketball. Obviously, I don't think the time is appropriate to go into things too much at this point. I may talk about this person later if things develop. You may even get to see her at some point, who knows? But for the moment, I'm just going to leave it there. Am I doing anything fun this weekend? Yes, I have my second date with this girl. All right, well, I'm fresh out of questions. That was actually a lot more fun than I thought it was, and I was really able to talk about some things pretty well. So I had a lot of fun with that. I'll probably do that again. I do hope to actually have a real topic for you guys next week, whatever it ends up being about. But until then, thanks so much for watching. Oh, hang on, guys. Actually, I found a couple more questions here that I think might be relevant. Question: how do I express that I really enjoyed the video? Oh, well, answer, click the thumbs up button below it. Question: if I want to see this show every week, what do I do? Answer, click that button that says subscribe. Question: what if I missed last week's Almost Interesting? Answer, click the box that says Almost Interesting to see last week's show. Question: what if I want to see the other videos you do? Answer, click the boxes to see Power Rangers episode review, the Miami Sports Report, and Almost Gaming. And last question, what would you say if I told you that this video was awesome? Answer, I'd say thank you so much for watching, and until next time, have a great week. But, like the... I want to sound smooth. I want to sound like I know what I'm talking about. For example, the part in the script that says, hit the mute button on the computer. Just like that. Maybe more if time permits. We'll see how things goes once we get to editing. Things goes. Cut.